Hello, today is World Read Aloud Day and I'm going to kickstart you with a little reading from Flying High in the Nikhil and Jay series. This is the fourth book in the series. The series is illustrated by Sophia and published by Oatsbury Books. So here we go, the story Flying High. It was a windy day, just as Nikhil and Jay had hoped it would be. It was the day they were driving to a big field outside the city to fly kites. Nikhil rushed to find Appa. Appa was cleaning and polishing his bike. "Are we going to fly kites today?" asked Nikhil. Appa shook his head. "Our parcel hasn't arrived yet," he said. "I ordered 4 kites, one for each of us." This was terrible. Nikhil went to find Jay, who was coloring a kite in his notebook. Max the cat was swatting the color pencils that kept rolling on the bed. "Jay, Jay," shouted Nikhil, "our box of kites hasn't arrived. We might not fly kites today." "Oh no," said Jay. Just then Amma peeped into the room. "Maybe you can fly Max the cat instead of a kite," she suggested. Max the cat growled and shot out of the room. "To fly him, first you have to catch him," said Jay, running after Max the cat. Amma sat next to Nikhil on the bed. "We'll go another day to fly kites," she said. "But we need a windy day," said Nikhil. They checked the weather on the computer. The next best windy day for flying kites was many days away. "I really want to go today," said Nikhil, showing Amma his art notebook. "Look, I drew about it." In the picture, Appa, Amma, Nikhil and Jay were looking up, holding on to their kites. Nikhil's kite was flying high. Max the cat was sitting on top of the car and watching them. "That's a lovely picture," said Amma. "You're getting very good." "But I want to become good at flying kites too," said Nikhil. Soon it was time for breakfast and they all sat quietly at the table with their bowls of porridge. "Let me call up a local shop," said Appa, "and ask if they can have any we can buy on our way." Nikhil smiled a little. Maybe that will work, he thought, even if those kites might not be the special ones they had ordered. But the local shop didn't have any kites left. All sold out. Oh no. Nikhil's eyes were full of tears. Jay hid his face in his knees. "Maybe we can make paper aeroplanes and fly them in the garden," said Appa. Nikhil and Jay shook their heads. That was not the same as flying kites. But wait, Nikhil wondered, maybe they could, instead of... "Maybe we can make kites instead of paper aeroplanes?" he asked. "That's a great idea," said Appa. "I'm sure we can make them if we can find some instructions." Nikhil found the instructions in his big book of crafts. As he read out what to do, Jay and Appa found the things they needed in the craft box. Paper, bamboo towels, threads and scissors and glue, of course. "And for the tail," said Amma, "I can cut out strips from leftover fabrics." "Hooray!" said Nikhil. "We have everything we need." They spent the rest of the morning making kites. Nikhil chose green and red paper for his kite and Amma made him a yellow ribbon for the tail. Jay made a kite shaped like a cat. Appa and Amma made their own kites too. "The last time I flew a kite was when I was 11 years old," said Amma. "I used to go to the roof terrace and fly them." As they made their kites, they helped each other to cut and glue and tie the frames together. Soon they had 4 homemade kites ready to go. Amma went into her shed and brought out 4 big bundles of sewing thread. "We can use this for kite strings," she said. The field was full of people flying kites. Amma found them a nice spot up the hill. Appa and Nikhil handed out the kites. Appa showed Nikhil and Jay how to hold the kite and tug it. Amma didn't need any help. She was running with her kite to catch the wind, and slowly she slipped the thread through her fingers as her kite rose. "We'll race you," shouted Nikhil as he ran after Amma with his kite. Soon all their kites were up in the air, fluttering in the wind. "That's Max the cat," said Jay, pointing at his kite. "He's not flying very high." "Cats are afraid of heights," said Nikhil, and everyone laughed. And that is the story of Flying High from this book, Nikhil and Jay Flying High, specially read by me, Chitra Sounder, for World Read Aloud Day, which is celebrated on the 7th of February 2024.